Hello there, I'm Eva Pilgrim. Thanks for streaming with us. Week 3 of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, starting with the music mogul's former assistant, Capricorn Clark, taking the stand.
Why would we need a 50-foot bed?
I mean, TD Jakes ain't small. I'm just saying. If it's a group thing, it's a group thing. You gotta think about, you got Rick Ross, you got Khaled, we talk about heavy hitters.
This Diddy trial, it ain't just some Hollywood scandal anymore. It's a full-on courtroom circus that's got the whole industry shook. It all kicked off when Cassie stepped forward and told the world what really went down. Her story, chilling. She claimed Diddy controlled every inch of her life and dragged her into twisted, wild parties. At first, folks thought it was just about her, just one woman speaking out, but now it spiraled way past that. This thing has erupted into a headline-devouring monster. We're talking leaked audio, courtroom bombshells, and celeb names being tossed around like confetti, names that'll make your eyes pop out your head. And this ain't whispers or vague rumors either. These are tapes, not just regular phone calls. Nah, real explicit recordings with voices that sound like Diddy, Will Smith, and even Meek Mill.
She testified she was held against her will twice. At one point alleging she was forced from her apartment and into a car to take Combs and one of his bodyguards to the home of rapper Kid Cudi to, quote, kill him. Cudi was dating his ex, Cassie Ventura, at the time. Clark also claimed Combs threatened to kill Ventura if she didn't convince Kid Cudi not to tell police that Combs was allegedly involved with a break-in at his house. Clark also telling the jury that a large man repeatedly administered lie detector tests to her on suspicion that she stole jewelry loaned to Combs. She testified that this man said if she flunked the test, they're going to throw you in the East River.
And get this, that stuff's being played out loud in court. The madness really caught fire after that silent hotel footage dropped. Shaky, no audio, just a glimpse. People thought that was the peak, but behind those courtroom doors, the real drama was brewing.
In 2009, did you observe an incident between Puff and Cassie? Yes, she was attacked by Sean and kicked. Did you see more violence by him against Cassie? Often. The government then shows Don Richard a picture of Diddy Dirty Money. When were you a member of this group? 2009 to 2011. The incident in 2009 when Sean Combs Cassie, where was it? In Sean Combs' LA home. We were recording. What did he do? He was saying, "Where the F is my food?" He grabbed a black skillet with eggs and tried to hit her over the head. Cassie dropped to the ground. What did she do? She was in a fetal position. Then what? Sean Combs was kicking her in the head and the body and then dragged her up to the first floor. Glass was breaking and yelling. I was scared for her and for me too. Did you intervene? No. Did you call the police? No. The next day, what happened? He said it had been passionate and she was okay, and that it would be better if we didn't talk, that people could end up missing. How did you understand that? Death. Diddy's team then yells objection. Then the judge calls a sidebar and ends her testimony for the day. But Don Richard will be back on Monday to give the rest of her full testimony against Diddy. But right before they brought Don Richard in, they actually had a Homeland Security agent testify against Diddy about when they came and arrested him to take him to jail. So let's go ahead and get into that. The government asked, when Sean Combs was arrested, where did you go? The Park Hyatt Hotel, room 2115, where he was staying. They show a picture to the jury of his hotel suite, and what did you do? We assigned a letter to each room and began to search. What was your role? I took photographs of items and then signed them on the 6051 form. What was found in the closet? They then show a picture to the jury, and it was plastic bags full of Johnson & Johnson baby oil and Astroglide bottles.
One insider said the audio played was so graphic and intense, the entire room went dead silent. Phones weren't allowed, no cameras. Just a bunch of stunned faces locked in place.
You guys really sit through that whole case and kept your spirits high. I really like that for y'all. That look great. Keep your spirits up, y'all.
Right after that disturbing audio hit the courtroom, boom, The judge hit us with a fresh witness list. But this wasn't just some clout-chasing crew. Nah, these were real insiders. Ex-artists, past employees, party guests, people who were actually there when the wild stuff went down.
What you're saying reaches the ears of Will Smith, and he needs to get at least, if there's smoke, there's fire, let me grab a fan.
Number one, as far as Will Smith is concerned, until he does right by all of those children that were harmed and corrupted while in his care, children that grew up to be men, boys like Bashir Gray, August Alsina, your own son. Like, your own son. Do people forget about that voice clip that I played from Brother Belial?
Hey.
Has anybody seen Belial?
Come on.
I asked him, didn't I ask for him last?
Come on.
Where's Belial? Is he missing with Cuba? Have they all moved to Bali with Russell Simmons and Kevin Liles?
I would always say it is interesting when you speak on, Jaden Smith and you see the hug with Justin
Bieber.
Justin Bieber. And then for Bashir, you see him all of a sudden fighting over Sydney Starr with Eddie Winslow. It does question what happens in the entertainment industry that makes someone go into just being very close with men on men contact. It's interesting, I'll say the least.
You want to know the thing that bothers me most about Bashir Gray? I actually think he's doing all of this so they'll take him back in the club. And they're not. They're gonna keep gaslighting you and playing with you, promising you one thing or another.
And now with legal backing, they're ready to talk. Finally, one of the most jaw-dropping moments, Dawn Richards, yep, the same Dawn from Danity Kane, the girl group Diddy used to manage. She took the stand, and when she walked out, folks said she looked wrecked, like she had just relived something traumatic.
It's the woman that everybody wanted, and Will needed that validation to have that type of woman.
You saw her say that Will Smith had...
I am saying to you, if a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg, and you come in with a pinky toe, there's nothing you can do to please her. You can buy her 80 cars, you can get her 80 private jets. If she's itching for that baby leg, she want that baby leg. You can beat a person so much that they fall into submission.
And who needs enemies when they got friends like you?
Oh, I could tell you what goes on the inside. Everybody else is just speculation.
Somebody told me my picture's in the book. Your picture's in the book and your name is in the book. So I'm just like, you're doing some real elegant flip. I'm blowing you up. I love that. I love that. You up.
Dude, this is what Jada makes the new people do. And I ain't gonna say no, they probably been there after myself, right? They will make you check into a rehab. And they'll pay for the rehab. Even though you're not on drugs, they're gonna pay for the rehab. And you have to go if you want to work with them. And then I've saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin.
Okay.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria.
Sources say her testimony lined up with Cassie's, and it was heavy. Dawn claims she saw Diddy straight up beat Cassie just because dinner wasn't ready fast enough. The day after, Diddy allegedly told Dawn and another bandmate to stay quiet, like nothing ever happened.
You kept it straight on the Smiths. Like you was just like, I see Jamie with women. I seen Jamie with Black. And I was like, okay, so this ain't got nothing to do with him trying to gain clout off of every celebrity, trying to ruin his relationship with all the celebrities you've done business with. This is just this particular friend that I've known damn near my whole life, and his wife, you feel like is sabotaging everything that y'all have together, and it's causing you to question him and his friendship towards you.
Without question. So here's the whole thing in a nutshell.
Okay.
You know, it's no secret in Hollywood that Jada hates me because I have a strong relationship with Will, and I do my own thing.
Why don't she hate Dwayne?
I can't answer that question.
Why don't she hate Dwayne Martin?
Well, she's gonna love anybody that treats her like she's a god, right? When you're a narcissist and a sociopath like she is, and I'll get into that, you want to be worshipped, and she got the bag. So these people will worship her, thinking that that Jada's gonna do something for them. But a narcissist and a sociopath is only looking to do things for themselves.
It was shocked because I was like, Jada is talking about suing. And she's speaking on this, and to my surprise, Will hasn't said anything. And so they did come out and say a rep for Will totally denies the allegations. I was like, Will does not respond to anything.
Nope.
He's never. This is all Jada, because as soon as that rep statement came out, she goes to sit on the Breakfast Club to reiterate the same that I feel she gave to TMZ.
Yes. Yeah. And so I'll say this to you as well.
Okay.
She also said in that interview that they were doing business. Will was not helping me out, right?
Yeah.
And it's a very good interview on this channel called Popcorn Planet.
Okay.
Where a big celebrity lawyer breaks down Jada's interview on the Breakfast Club. And say,
shout out to you said Popcorn
Planet.
Okay, shout out to Popcorn Planet. We gotta check that out.
They cannot even sue based on what she did at the Breakfast Club. Had Jada not went to the Breakfast Club, I would have been sued already. And just for the record, I haven't been sued yet. Have you been sued by Jada?
Nobody's contacted me at all.
Okay, so, and let me answer your other question. The reason Will responded, the reason why Jada responded, because they know it's true. Will's never responded, and they responded in less than 9 hours.
They did. That was a fast response.
That was because he know what I saw in that dressing room. He know other things that I saw.
You said it was murder.
Yes, Dwayne Martin's a serial killer, because Will's not the only one, and we're gonna get into that later on too. So basically, Jada's interview did two things. It makes me now, me and her at war. I'm gonna put Will to the side. Will is to the side. Me and Jada, I will say this because I know you're watching. I know Karen Tense is watching.
Who's Karen Tense?
That is her PR person for years.
Okay.
Right? I know they're watching. Jada, you're a bald-head liar and you're a drug addict. Right?
Oh, God.
You did not sue me. You told the world that you were going to sue me. As of yet, and you said you're going to do it swiftly. It's been over 2 weeks. So Jada, I'm giving you 2 more weeks to sue me. If you don't sue me, this is what's going to happen. All the sex parties, right? And the men that you hit with dildos, I'm naming names, right? All the salacious stuff that you have done and hurt other people, I'm naming names. Because now what we got to do is we got to force her to say she lied.
Then came a moment that hit even harder. Diddy's own daughters were seen leaving the courtroom. No smiles, no words, just pale faces and silence. They didn't even look toward the cameras. This happened right after that audio was played. And their reaction? It said everything.
Whereas that he's dressing the same he dressing like Diddy? Hugged up with Diddy? I think that Lil Rod know a lot of shit, but I know this. 2 men dress alike, it's just like 2 men laying down. When they both get up, they both homos. And that's real talk, bruh. My man, you go to a party, dog, and the nigga got the same shirt you got on, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm walking around in a t-shirt. And then, not to blow Meek Mill's up out the water or anything like that, it was said that they checked his Google search and all the other shit, and he was searching for some online gay porn and all that other shit like that.
Oh, wow.
That shit is crazy, bro. But listen, those are what, you know, it's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something get you. These guys never set out to do all this shit. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioning about his manhood with Diddy. But he put himself in that position.
But it didn't stop there. The name Will Smith rang out loud in court. For real. This wasn't internet gossip. This was tied to the audio itself. As soon as it happened, the online world exploded. People started digging, rewatching old clips, pointing out weird vibes between Will and Diddy, and dragging up old receipts.
What's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Comedian Luenell once cracked a joke about Will and Diddy being way more than just friends. And back then, folks just laughed it off. But now, that joke's aging real differently. Jaguar Wright later spoke up about it too, adding even more heat to the fire. At first, nobody really clocked it, but now the clips are everywhere. And just when it felt like the drama hit its limit, boom. Will Smith's former assistant, brother Bilal, came out swinging with some wild claims. He said he personally witnessed Will in an intimate situation with actor Dwayne Martin, like walked in on it with his own eyes. Believe it or not, that story blew up fast. Brother Bilal doubled down, saying he's never been sued because the Smiths know I'm not lying. That alone had people raising their eyebrows like crazy, and it didn't stop there. Luenell came back and basically backed him up, saying Will and Dwayne's connection was way deeper than people realized. That's when the internet went detective mode. Every old clip, selfie, or red carpet pic of Will and Diddy chilling together started to feel suspicious. Will tried to clap back quick. "I ain't nowhere near that, man. I didn't do any of that stupid stuff," he said. But that move totally backfired. The internet flooded with receipts, photos, videos, and all kinds of throwback moments showing them together at parties, award shows, VIP events, you name it. And just when things couldn't get more chaotic, boom! Meek Mill's name got dropped in the court audio, and now the whole situation is spiraling even further. While Will kept it cool and calm, Meek Mill, he snapped. Dude had a full-on meltdown online. His Twitter was on fire with defensive rants, but instead of clearing the air, it made people side-eye him even harder. For years, folks cracked jokes about how close Meek was with Diddy, throwing out nicknames, side eyes, and some real weird comments. Most of it got brushed off as internet trolling. But now, every single joke, old tweet, and blurry video is being replayed like evidence. People are connecting dots they didn't even know existed before. One clip that resurfaced shows Meek at a party looking mad uncomfortable.
About these rumors surrounding, Diddy and TD Jakes.
I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin. Drinking, maybe fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. But maybe he there to lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he there to save some souls. I know he got a contract with Revolt.
While someone laughs in the background. Another wild one? Diddy throwing Meek a birthday bash, but not just any party. It was poolside, filled with shirtless dudes, and caught on camera calling Meek daddy. That moment, insta-meme. It spread like wildfire. Then Meek tried to shut it down, tweeting, "I'm not fruity, stop playing with me." But the internet came swarming with receipts, like non-stop. His attempt to defend himself only made the flames burn hotter. But the real twist, it's the courtroom audio, the one nobody outside that room has heard. No leaks, no screenshots, just courtroom silence and rumors loud enough to shake the whole internet.
A lot. Eva, she testified that Sean Combs at one point threatened to Kid Cudi after finding out that he began dating Cassie Ventura. But she talked about 3 distinct episodes as prosecutors today started to home in on one of the elements of the alleged racketeering conspiracy, and that's kidnapping. Capricorn Clark said in 2004 in New York, she was forced to take a lie detector test for 5 days straight on suspicion of stealing jewelry. In 2008, she said Sean Combs charged at her and kept shoving her with his hand. She demonstrated for the jury until pushing her all the way out of his house in Miami Beach when she said that she hates it here and forced her out of the house. And then in 2011 in Los Angeles is when she says she was forced at gunpoint into a car to go to Kid Cudi's house because Sean Combs was very upset.
Aaron, Clark painted a picture of what it was like to work for Combs, saying she even had to take a lie detector test. Why did she have to do that?
This goes back to July 4th weekend in the Hamptons. Sean Combs was hosting one of his now famous white parties, and he was able to wear 3 very high-end pieces of jewelry loaned to him by Jacob the jeweler. And after the party, Capricorn Clark was supposed to take possession of the jewelry and bring it on a private plane to Miami Beach, where Combs was headed. And on her way to the airport, she realized the bag wasn't there, and she said that she suspected it was an inside job. But apparently Combs and one of his bodyguards, a guy by the name of Uncle Paulie, that's how he was known, ended up taking her to what would be the headquarters of Bad Boy Entertainment. At the time, it was on 40th Street and Broadway. This was going to move uptown into the upper 50s, but the building wasn't finished, and she recalled for the jury being taken to a dilapidated space. There was only a folding table and chairs, and she remembered a huge guy, 5 times her size, chain smoking and hooking her up to a lie detector machine every day for 5 days straight, and threatening that if she failed the test, she'd be thrown into the East.
That silence, it's screaming right now, and everybody's dying to know what was actually said. Insiders are whispering that the courtroom audio might include something deeply disturbing, someone getting hurt, while Diddy's allegedly laughing in the background. Yeah, that level of twisted. And that's why some say the tapes are being kept under wraps, maybe to protect the people involved, out of respect for privacy, dignity, or even trauma. But others, they're convinced it's way deeper than that. Some believe the tapes are just too explosive, packed with names that hold serious power. Celebs, moguls, media giants. If those recordings ever leak, whew, we're talking career-ending, brand-destroying, lawsuit-triggering chaos. Deals could collapse. Reputations could be obliterated.
Ben suggested that, she just loved Sean Combs, and how could any of this be true? She said, look, he blackballed me in the music industry, stymied her as she tried to get other work, and so eventually she felt like she had no choice but to return to Sean Combs, and that's why she was so eager to work for him.
I'm curious what Combs' response was hearing this in the courtroom.
He was a really active defendant today. For the whole trial, he's been listening intently, scribbling notes, but on several occasions as Capricorn Clark was testifying, he would whisper into his attorney's ear, and Mark Agnifilo would then jump up to object when Capricorn Clark was trying to make a point. So he clearly did not remember the course of events that she described today the same way that Capricorn Clark did, and it was almost as if he was directing some of the cross-examination.
Aaron Kotursky for us there outside the federal court in Manhattan. Thank you so much. And here to dig into the start of week 3 of this trial is ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer. You've been in the courtroom almost all of this trial, right? So whose testimony so far do you think has been the most significant?
Well, I think the obvious answer has got to be Cassie Ventura. Cassie Ventura for a number of reasons. One, according to the government, she is victim number 1, and she does describe a lot of the allegations that the government is putting forward against Sean Combs, whether it be the racketeering conspiracy conspiracy as to how this criminal enterprise operated, the different players. She's named a few of the security guards, for example, D-Rock, Ruben, also the sex workers and dancers who participated in these freak-offs. She's named them all because she participated in hiring them, according to her, because Sean Combs made her do so. And then, of course, just hearing the other details, like Kid Cudi's car being hit with a Molotov cocktail. That's really giving us direction as the case continues.
And the wildest part, it might not stop with the names we already know. Because if Diddy, Meek, and Will are just the surface, who else is entangled in this mess? That's what's got everybody on edge. Whispers are flying that there are still big players in the shadows, and people we haven't even heard of yet could suddenly find themselves dragged into the spotlight. One of the names that keeps circling back, TD Jakes. Yup. Gene Deal's been hinting for a while that Jakes might have ties to this chaos, and now, with everything coming out in court, people are really starting to listen. At this point, it ain't just about Diddy and Cassie anymore. That chapter's long gone.
And the Punisher was being directed by Diddy while he was doing the stuff to punish Cassie. Now, he could not look at Diddy, and as they go on in that whole scene and stuff like that, Diddy gets mad at him because Diddy tried to look him in the eye, or he tried to look Diddy in the eye or something like that when he was doing Cassie and Cassie was doing Diddy. It was some crazy stuff like that, man. But can we get back to the trial? Because that's in their sexual acts and what they doing, bruh. All this is so perverted, and people, I don't know if they really want to hear that, and if they do want to hear that, bruh, it's just crazy to me, because here it is that this mind that he has and this perverted mind that he do all this I'm trying to wonder where this kid get this from. Is this some kind of learned behavior when he was a kid? Because you know his mama used to have those sex parties. His mama used to have those, and he used to see this and see some of this stuff. So is this him acting out his childhood fantasies that he saw back when he was a kid, or what? I don't know, bruh. I don't even want to talk about it.
Now it feels like the lid's finally being ripped off something way bigger, a whole hidden world that's been lurking behind the glitz, the fame, and those polished red carpet smiles. A world that's been moving real shady, maybe for years, and the only reason it's cracking open now, the feds are applying pressure, real pressure. Plus, the folks who say they've been hurt, they're finally finding the courage to speak out, and once that silence breaks, there's no turning back. But now we're all in this strange limbo.
Does have a plan to try to derail the information, derail the chain of evidence, derail history as it actually happened. And he is the kind of guy that has no problem with re-victimizing people all over again. Let's just keep it a buck. These girls showed up at a very opportune time, did they not? Adria and Lamisha Fuller. Very opportune time. I do Pierce Morgan. The elites go insane. Ariel Mitchell Kidd drops Adria English as a client after she got drunk and talked with Tasha K, which was side in itself, if you ask me. I go on Pierce Morgan and say I have 3 witnesses that are ready to come forward against the Carters. I didn't say against Diddy, I said against the Carters. And then there was the fake C&D, which was nothing more than a phone call from the lawyer Alex Spiro, who tanked the Rock Nation offering so Dame Dash couldn't make any real money off of it. They're all afraid. When I look at Khadisha's content and I see her go and pull everything. When I see you go and pull all of those things that I leave on the breadcrumb trail, I need people to understand how valuable that is. Because see, I'm used to people just calling me a liar, straight out the gate. But I always leave enough of the real information there for people to be able to go and seek it out for themselves. Because see, if you can go find it, and it's not about me. The truth is, a lot of you content creators are my
The trial's rolling forward, new names keep getting tossed into the fire, and the internet, oh, it's on a mission. Meanwhile, the people being called out are trying to keep up appearances, acting like it's business as usual. But we all know that charade can't hold much longer. The internet never forgets, and once people feel like the truth's being hidden, they dig even harder until everything comes out. More and more voices are stepping forward. Folks who've been calling out Diddy's dark side for years are finally getting heard. And if those court tapes ever drop, man, it won't just rattle Diddy. It could expose an entire corner of Hollywood that's been living in the shadows. For now, Diddy's trying to play defense, laying low and cleaning up his mess, and at least that's what Jaguar Wright says. But the real question is, do you think he'll get away with it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more messy, real deal updates. Catch you in the next one.